And the name on the contract does say McMahon. However, the contract reads Shane.
Originally, we did a couple of road
There's more on Jamie's side that has got me to say, okay, there's a little bit more, should we say, movement in terms of where we're going. So I am going to give the SummerSlam to Jamie here. Mainly, and I think really what's actually intrigued me here is the booking of Braun Breaker, because ultimately he is now, you can pivot with Braun Breaker here now, because he is the world heavyweight champion. We've now brought two world championships into the same faction here, and really it's kind of redeemed his booking a little bit, because the IC title, you can imagine there's a lot of sympathy for Breaker there, because of like the shithousery that has been made in order to actually get to, shall we say, to get Cena a token Intercontinental Championship win. So now you have both world championships there in the same faction. And really, I think what the real kicker for me in this whole thing was the Rock stuff with Cena, not as strong for me, but the real kicker was Cody with that briefcase. I think that is the real kind of like the ace in the hole here, because Cody now is starting to become the main target here, the main threat for everyone. Hence why Rollins wanted him to lose the belt, to the briefcase to him, because realistically, you could have had a faction that had the briefcase and both world championships, and it was all sewn up. But there is just that little bit of thread. There's still a little chink in the armor there. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to implode right now and right here and now. But Cody with that briefcase gives it an opportunity to implode. So I think that's where we're going to go with on this one. Now, that being said, the phone call is still in play. You still have an ace in the hole. There's still a lot of plot devices to throw in here towards our final four legs. So here we go then with Clash in Paris. And Jamie, we'll let you crack on here with Clash in Paris. We are in the Défense Nanterre in Paris, or the La Défense Arena if you prefer. And what is happening here? We're into August 31st. What's going on?
So, in the midst of SummerSlam, we saw John Cena was at an all-time low, listening to The Rock and doing what he didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cena stops showing up. How can Cody cash in if he's not there? So, in the meantime, we build to the main event of Clash in Paris, which ostensibly, in the aftermath of SummerSlam, is going to be a fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Braun Breaker versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. As we
Wow.
continue on towards Clash in Paris, Cody Rhodes says that he's done. He's not playing these games anymore, and he's going to call his shot. He is going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at Clash in Paris, and will use that contract to force John Cena to show up and face him one-on-one. And so we get there. And in the fatal four-way match, just because you were talking about shithousery, you've seen nothing yet. Braun Breaker loses the world title without being pinned, much a la like WrestleMania. And just like WrestleMania, or, well, no, similar to WrestleMania, it's the partner screwing the partner. Seth Rollins becomes the world heavyweight champion by pinning CM Punk after Braun Breaker did the damage.
Mm,
Dissension
interesting.
is kind of growing, but Braun, much like The Rock says, knows his role and congratulates Seth. Seth is the world heavyweight champion.
Mm,
Our main event rolls around. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. John Cena, before the match, requests that none of them come to ringside, that Cody Rhodes has disrespected him, and that he is going to show the world, finally, that he is John Cena. He is the greatest of all time, and he doesn't need any of this. And just once he's going to show everyone that, the match goes similar enough to Mania. It's a rematch from it, of course, and we are trying to sell insanely expensive tickets in Paris. So why wouldn't we load this up?
That is an odd Kanye West song. Insanely expensive tickets in Paris. It's a new fucking. It's a new way
But
of
still,
So much like we've been doing here, Cena is one step behind Cody. Cody is getting the advantage when, much like the previous 6 months, the lads come on out for the crack. Specifically, this time, Paul Heyman is at ringside and hands the belt to Cena. John Cena walks over, touches the belt, and we're going to need some fancy camera work here. But planted in the scene, so Heyman is at the ramp side of the ring. Cena touches the belt when sitting at the corner on camera is that kid from Belgium who you have flown in. And John Cena looks at Heyman, looks at the kid who is still wearing a John Cena shirt. The kid did not give up on him. The kid still thinks John Cena is the greatest of all time and doesn't need the shithousery. John Cena pushes the title into Heyman off of the apron. Heyman takes a tumble with the belt, screaming, "No, what are you doing? Stop." Cena backs into a crossroads. 1, 2, 3. John Cena has lost the WWE title, but potentially regained his soul.
Interesting.
You can't be doing that in Paris. There's a lot of things you can do in Paris. I don't think they're going to drop. No, don't be. You can't drop world titles in the biggest storyline. It's the first time I've shot in anything that he's done because I already
just
give
wait.
it like
The next
it's been
3 months
competitive.
get bigger.
So
Aaron got wound up there. I love that. That really got him there.
That got under my
Okay.
fucking skin.
Okay. Okay.
A replacement for him.
so in that case, then what would you do in Paris here? So obviously we have a fairly massive Clash in Paris show where actually you'd say more has happened. Go for it.
I do want to point out that specifically the reason it had to be in Paris was to get that kid in the audience. He's from Belgium. It's not that far.
It's far cheaper to fly from Brussels to Paris.
It had to be him. He's the one who Cena specifically told to go fuck himself. He should be the one.
He did specifically
to
tell
bring
him
him back.
He's grown up an extra year and he's still wearing that fucking shirt. He's bought a new one since. The emotional damage here is tremendous. But yes, Aaron, what would you do here with Clash in Paris?
So I would have Reigns. So everyone's gotten one shot of them and it hasn't worked out. Yep. Reigns is going to be the first person to get two, mainly because he's Roman Reigns. Okay. So he's the first person to get the second shot at Cena, right? This is where Cena will show up just a little bit more, because if you're going to start doing cracks in the team, the two lads are getting very annoyed that he's not showing up. They're doing all the hard work and he just comes in for 10 minutes every month. And to add a little spice into it, you're not better than Reigns when he was champion. But there's still that ego with Cena that he thinks he's better, and that's already kind of getting at his head. He's like, he shows up, he wastes 4 appearances over the course of the month to effectively prove a point.
Yeah.
In all of this, the phone call has happened, right? And it will tease my fucking ace in the hole. My fucking ace in the hole is better than some fat kid from Belgium. So we get to the pay-per-view. There is shenanigans. The storyline starting to converge again together. We have an all-star show up at Paris. Cena nearly wins. Punk comes out. Roman nearly wins. Braun comes out. Cena nearly wins again. Orton comes out. Seeing Reigns, then he wins again, and then you have Seth come out with a curb stomp, and then the last man for them will be Cody, because Cena will nearly win, and Cody will fuck him over. Basically, bringing that storyline around to he was kind of worried whether he could beat him or not. No, he gets fine. No, he believes in himself again, essentially. And just when you think Reigns has it, and Cody's gotten, one back in him, the lights go out. A spotlight hits the ramp. And then, I think for added effect, Heyman will go, this is my star of the team. Ricky Stark's music hits. You see the pose. He fucking comes down. This adds something to it because it goes into the next pay-per-view. Ricky Starks comes down. Fucking Cody's shocked because he's one of Cody's lads. So he takes out Cody immediately. Fucking takes out Reigns immediately. And then gets him over. Cena gets the win. And then you have your final fucking 4. Oh, and there's 4 lads on the other side. I wonder what's going to happen. So we have all the 4 faces around the ring, shocked. Punk is shocked because he's one of Punk's lads. Fucking Cody shocked because he's one of Cody's lads. And then you have fucking
the fans
Reigns,
are shocked because they don't know who he is.
But he's on NXT. So he's already gotten some play on WWE
television. I will be doing a quizzing you on that, Aaron, when you're finished your bit there. We'll carry on.
Basically, we'll explain it later on, though. There's explanations as to how this particular one has happened. And there's a good reason too. So we have the 4 faces in Orton and Reigns, who haven't a fucking clue who this guy is. Who the fuck is this fella? Well, I've never fucking seen him before. And then you have the other 2 lads that are just baffled that he would turn their back on him after all the love and affection they've given him. Punk was good friends with him when he was in AEW. Obviously, you never mentioned that, but you can mention directly the person who fucked him over was one of the main people who brought him in to the wrestling business, and that's Cody Rhodes. Because technically, he did without actually mentioning the other lads, because he is one of the people that brought him in. I was going to go a little bit crazier and do MJF, but I felt like Ricky Starks is perfect, because if you want to start showing cracks now, this is the perfect time to start showing cracks. He wants to have everybody else into it. I wonder what the next pay-per-view is, and we fucking go on.
Yeah, indeed. So, okay, so on that point, because I will say this is a better ace to play than Vikingo was. So I will say this has actually caught my attention a little bit more, because as I said, there is history indirectly if we're counting our time in Jacksonville with Cody and Punk and so forth. But in order to justify this, as I said, I think Ricky Saints now at this stage, of course, because he's in NXT, there is, like, he's already established. We know at this point he is going to be in NXT. He has established himself. He's had matches with Ethan Page and stuff like that. But
1 second there, Jonathan. I just got to turn off my camera. So I know, keep talking, but my camera's going to be off.
Go for it. Yeah. Now, what I would like to ask you is that we have from here until the 31st of August to make Ricky Saints a legitimate, shall we say, star enough that the casual fan, the non-NXT viewing fan, would know who he is. So is this a case of like a Solo Sikoa situation where, like, say, he has been on NXT only, and it is such a twist when it comes to, say, a WrestleMania main event that you have to almost Google who he is first and then go, oh, that makes sense? Or has he made a main roster debut already? Has he been NXT champion? I'm even just looking here, for instance, there's no NXT specials planned at the moment, but let's just say, for argument's sake, they probably will do one around August. So what has Ricky Saints been doing here to build his star quality since WrestleMania is my kind of question to you.
He basically has become one of the very few double champions in NXT, but immediately lets the North American Championship go. He has been NXT champion for about 4 months now. He's had a storyline. I don't fucking know who's the other lad that's from Ethan Page. He ends up losing the title to him again. All right, let's just say that for fact. Ethan Page was going to be my pick. In my head, it kind of half made sense with if I do win. Both of them would have worked, but I think there's more emotional play with Ricky Starks than there is Ethan Page. So he's basically, do you know the thing that they do when they bring somebody else to the main roster when you know they're ready and they probably shouldn't have lost the NXT title yet? That's basically.
But they do end up doing it. Yeah.
Everyone knows that Ricky Starks is probably going to the main roster soon because he's just lost the NXT belt. So he probably has maybe one more match there and he's fucking out of there. He's tailor-made for the main roster already. Kind of all of us kind of know that anyway. I think you probably slap on the main roster right now and it probably wouldn't look out of place. So there will be a very good reason as to why he's managed to be the exception to the rule that no one moves brands, essentially. Okay. So when the four lads are standing there, then it is just like your present and your past in Seth and Cena, and you have your future in Braun and Ricky Starks.
You're bringing the evolution angle now into it here.
Kind of, but I'm not explicit. That doesn't explicitly get said in television. But I think everyone knows this is where we are. We have Cena, Ric Flair, Seth as Triple H, Batista's Braun Breaker, and you have Randy Orton as Ricky Starks. That fits fucking brilliantly in that whole thing, I think. And yeah, go on.
Okay, very interesting. Wow, Jesus, what a choice. I have a choice between an audaciously stonked Paris show on Jamie's timeline with like a WrestleMania quality like two main events there. Like that, like I take those two matches and I put them on WrestleMania. That's absolutely what I would do there. Whereas on this side, on Aaron's side, I see like the final little bit of play here coming together, the final piece in a proverbial puzzle, perhaps a stabilizing agent in this whole thing as well, but we don't know that yet.
That's what
if I could describe my one, I would call it the start of the third act.
Indeed. Well, I think both. Well, in fairness, we have 3 shows left, so this is the act 3 that we're going into now. And I'm thinking to myself, what is a good act 2 ending on this? And if I'm really being truthful, I do agree with Aaron's assessment that the Fatal 4-Way and Cena Cody is a lot for Clash in Paris. Whereas I think having that last ace being pulled, I think is enough to bring it to the next stage, which is Crown Jewel. So I am going to give Aaron this point here.
Fuck, I thought Survivor Series is next. Jesus Christ.
Now, I'm fucked now.
No, not necessarily, lads, not necessarily.
No, we're not fucked. It's just that I had a much more streamlined fucking... fuck. I've got to have him face fucking Gunther or some shit next on it.
I would have seen it, you prick.
Now, here's the thing, right? I'll tell you why this works out tremendously for both of you here, because so obviously now Ricky Saints is now the last bit of it here, and yes, Survivor Series has essentially been set up, right? So Survivor Series is locked in, but we do have a step along the way, which is Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel, if you remember last year, was all champion versus champion matches.
Oh yeah, the Crown Jewel fucking...
They did a Night of Champions gimmick on it last time. So again, similar to Saturday night's main event, we can go down that road. It is a possibility. But Aaron, now that we've kind of established now, so let's give ourselves a kind of a breather here in terms of booking. So Braun Breaker is still World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. Whichever way the brands are split now to this stage. John Cena is still the WWE Champion at this point. The company guys faction now as well is now pretty much complete. You've got Cena, you got Heyman, you got Rollins, you got Breaker, and you got Ricky Starks. So or Ricky Saints, I should say. I have to stop using his AW name. So Ricky Saints is now the final piece in this puzzle. Everyone's come together. That 5-man, if you like, the War Games team is set, and all the baby faces are going to come together and have a lovely time as well. But we have Crown Jewel to go as well. It's in Perth. It's going to be a fairly high-profile show. Champion versus champion matches are available. So I'm going to pass to you, Aaron, here and see, are you going to take champion versus champion premise, or are you going to go with something else?
No, we can do the champion versus champion premise, actually.
So that will make it Cena versus Braun Breaker.
It would make Cena versus Braun Breaker, but I can work with that. Yeah.
All right. Okay, then tell us the story then. What happens?
if the cracks have already started fucking showing 4 months before this thing was supposed to end, may as well just continue it now. Basically, the whole build to this will be centered around the two lads. It'll be very simply, the new kid in the block with the old veteran. Can Braun beat his boss, I suppose, in this group, essentially. Does he take the glory for himself? Or, as the other side is telling him, does he do the right thing? Right? Which is essentially lie the fuck down and let him add the crown jewel to all the belts that he had.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I don't know if I've made Jamie angry there.
No, I'm literally trying to figure out how to get out of the hole a bit.
Again, Aaron might help you out with what he books here. He might help you out for Survivor Series. This is the beauty of this premise, lads.
I have my team. Go on.
Seth and Starks are occupying the other two lads. So that's all fucking sorted. Nice little tag team match for Crown Jewel.
Okay, so just to clarify, you are doing Seth and Saints versus Punk and Orton.
Punk and Orton, right? Cody won't have a match here, but he will be very much involved in everything that is going on.
Okay.
All right. He'll tease cash-ins. I could cash in into this night, and I could keep my crown jewel belt. All this stuff. Do I cash in on either one of them, or do I head the easy road? And not the easy road, but do I go for the easy win with Braun Breaker, or do I finally cut the head off the snake, which is John Cena?
Yeah,
essentially.
Okay.
It gets to the match. Breaker doesn't do what he's supposed to do, but Cena respects it. The two of them have a big brawl, and Cena does win relatively clean. Breaker will go for a spear. He'll hit the ring post. He'll show his veteran status by being just smarter than Braun Breakers.
So like a roll up from a spear or something like that.
From a spear or something like that. And then the end of the night, Cody Rhodes' music will hit.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, we're getting the cash in. But he actually comes down in his 3-piece suit, because he did not wrestle. He comes down with a briefcase, but that briefcase will be the Crown Jewel Championship, but it'll be a very tense handoff to it. It's like, do you know the way they can pass the trophy on or something like that? That's why he's doing it. He was the last champion, seen as the next one.
Very good. Well remembered. Yes.
Bit of fucking tension there as well, because he can kind of talk to him and go, I can get that from the back right now. You can't get lucky stairs that I'm not doing it. And that's the closing shot. Cody going back up the ramp, looking fucking John Cena dead in the eyes, while Cena looks back at him and has the fear in his eyes that, oh fuck, he has his eyes on me again. I don't think I can beat him by myself.
Okay.
So there's a little bit there, and Braun's out on the side as well, fucking holding his belt, but kind of giving Cena daggers like, I fucking had you, you prick. I fucking had you. So
well remembered, weaving in the tension from the last one. Bear in mind, like obviously the last time these two would have faced would have been the screw job for the Intercontinental title as well. So there's beef there as well. Just out of curiosity, in the match you have between Punk Orton and Rollins Saints, who do you have winning that match?
Oh, Saints and Rollins win.
Okay.
They all win cleanly, obviously. I think probably, I don't know. Fucking Heyman plays back to Mania. He throws in a chair to fucking Rollins. He hands him the fucking chair, and he hits Punk maybe again.
Yeah. Has Heyman a factor in the Champion of Champions match between Cena and Breaker?
Heyman's not a factor because he doesn't want to pick between either or of them. Both of them are his babies, so to speak.
Stable.
My champions. I will be sitting at the side. I'll be happy for whoever wins, basically. But he doesn't even play into it that much.
Okay. Fair enough. So we have a bit of a body now in terms of those two kind of plot relevant matches. Okay then. So Jamie, this is giving you an opportunity now to tidy up the hurricane that Fran just left behind. Yes. So, so again, Aaron has taken the opportunity to do a champion versus champion match on his timeline. Are you taking the same opportunity, or are you going somewhere different?
No, no, I need the belt off Cena and I need him face, and I need it a month ago. So
Okay.
I'm running Cena Rhodes.
So you
My
want Cody?
suggestion for Clash in Paris, I have to do it in Perth.
Okay.
Um, you can't fly in the kid from Belgium, so fuck it, we'll have our truth sitting there going, no, John, don't do it. Um, we only have three Cena matches left, or three pay-per-view Cena matches.
Mm,
Um, fuck, this was meant to be him and Rollins. Cena going for number 18, but
mm.
no, no, yeah, Cena Rhodes. Cena does the right thing, refuses to give in to doing what they say, and loses on his own terms. Um, fuck it, we'll leave the belt on Braun.
You
He
have kind of booked
will.
yourself into a fucking mess here, haven't you?
Oh, so really? This Paris is after screwing me up big time.
This is like
Um,
me doing my best man speech a couple of weeks ago. Go on.
Very interesting twist in the tail here.
oh shit, there was that as well. Okay.
He's seeing shit that he didn't even know he destroyed.
Yeah,
That I
no,
didn't even
I
know.
just saw my Survivor Series teams and they don't work anymore. Um,
Well, again, it depends. Now, bear in mind, you see, like again, like there's like both of you are stabilizing your own timelines here, just to bear in mind here. So this will even out with Survivor Series. So just to be clear, you hope. Depends on how
uh,
this goes. So anyway, to start off
okay,
with, you
okay,
have
no, hold on. The Cena Rhodes thing.
mm,
Because I also need, while Cena's turning face this month, I need a heel turn for Survivor Series to work.
mm,
So in the match, we start having the run-ins, as has become customary for these
yeah,
factions. The fans are fucking sick of it. So is Cena. That's the point. He's gonna do the right thing. It's gonna
mm,
cost him. But one of the people who comes out and joins the group to help Cena and is this time the guttural reason why Cena won't turn on Rhodes and it ends up costing him is because during the flurry of run-ins, all of Cena's team WWE have been removed. Most of the faces have been removed from the Cody side, but Seth is still there. When Randy Orton comes out and Randy Orton RKO's Cody Rhodes, laying him out, setting up that little nugget for down the road. Cena's seen enough. Hits the AA on Randy, hits the AA on Seth, eats the crossroads. Cody's champion. Cena's face. Orton is heel. Away we go.
interesting. Okay. And like I said, there's a lovely bit of callback there in terms of like I'll show you who's a fucking heel type of thing. Like
Yeah.
um, okay, so either way, we still have so like I said, so we still have Cody winning the world championship here at Crown Jewel, and then Cena now slowly coming back to the land of the living in a sense when he's realized that basically, yeah, this whole company guy shit doesn't work for me. I'm gonna start coming back to my senses here. So okay. First of all, very well done for getting for doing the 3 point turn out of the booking hole there. And this is exactly what the series is for because like that could have easily happened. That happened to Aaron earlier in the show. So like it is very much a case of like this is the fun part. Um, Overall, I will say I'm gonna give the point to Aaron. And the reason I say that is because I am. Ironically enough, Jamie, you set up Aaron's match really, really well earlier on in the storyline because you had the angle of Braun having to drop the Intercontinental Championship for no reason. to John Cena just to placate John Cena. And now you have this wonderful coincidence because obviously now I'm assuming that in Aaron's
I'm
kind of premise here, or even in SummerSlam, we have Braun Breaker beating Jey Uso. So now, wonderfully,
yeah.
this lovely karma, this kind of yin yang balance that the stable has organized, has kind of worked out pretty badly for them. Now, as I said, we have not established like whether there's been some to and fro with management, with Triple H, with The Rock, with Adam Pearce, with Nick Aldis, with fucking The Undertaker. Who the fuck is a GM at this point? Who cares? The point is that you would have had like they would have wanted to avoid this champion versus champion match, but as Aaron says, both of these lads kind of wanted it at this point. They wanted to blow
Yeah.
off some
Yeah.
steam, and that's the selling point now is to see like, okay, who actually does win out here? And as I said, it's a cheap enough win for Cena. There's enough left on the table for Breaker, and ultimately there's enough left on the table for Survivor Series.
I
Now,
now have no finish though. My big finale to Cena's career was him against Braun Breaker.
Oh,
ooh,
that was
well,
your last
I,
match.
yeah, yeah, it was. I've
Oh,
been building Braun all
I,
fucking year, and did
I,
not know.
I need to point this out. I think my match and my ending to go into Mania is much better.
We're only doing to the end of the year. We're not doing to
I know
Mania.
we're only doing to the end of the
Yeah.
year, but if you want to fantasy book the end of my one leading into Mania, my one's a lot better.
Well, you know what? Whoever wins
I
the booking
literally don't.
challenge, yeah.
Yeah, but I've got nothing now. So fire ahead
Well,
because
you're,
I genuinely.
you're thinking on your feet now, Jamie, for this one. This is the fun bit. It might actually come down to the December pay-per-view. So now we're going to go on to Survivor Series. There's the possibility of War Games, and I'll leave that open to both of you here. So Jamie, I am going to start with you on this one.
I wouldn't.
If you're happy to pass, I'll let Aaron start. 'Cause I think Aaron's on a bit of a roll here. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, off you go then.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, Survivor Series. What's happening?
Obviously, with the Braun thing, there's a little bit of tension there, but I'm gonna fuck with the rules of the War Games match for the sake of my booking.
Okay.
Okay.
Not the first time they've done
So
this, by the way. So no
yeah.
harm.
So basically, they will have some skirmishes over the next couple of weeks. Everyone's going to be fucking involved. It will
I should say, by the way,
kind of go
just
back.
to clarify, Jamie, as well. Sorry to interrupt, Aaron. The Money
Yep.
Bank briefcase is still now is still open again.
There's
Because
not enough
Aaron's
time. There's genuinely not. But go on.
fair enough, but just to say that
Appreciate
that is
it.
still a factor in this, though. Yeah, don't
So
box yourself in there.
the lads will go back and forth for the next couple of weeks. In amongst all of this, on the last Raw before fucking Survivor Series, Jey Uso will come out and make the save for the lads, which leads to a dynamic of it's 5 against 4, but the War Games match is 4-4. This is where they will add in the 5th man for this match. I kind of overbooking this bit, but my head always had this being it. So at least one part of it. Jey will fucking take out Braun. He will then get taken out by Cena, who will then get taken out by, I don't know, Cody. Perfect. He'll get taken out by Cody, right? The Rock's music hits. Okay.
So let's just rewind a little bit. Just I want to make
everyone. The heel team are on the outside, right?
Yeah, this is what I want to double check.
All of them are on the ramp with Heyman. There's a fucking fire. There's a little bit of a fucking scrap between Breaker and Cena. The tensions are really starting to fucking mount now between the two of them.
Now this is during War Games. This is before.
No, this is before. This is before. This is the last Raw beforehand.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of fucking fire between the two of them. The faces are standing strong, I guess, because of the save from fucking Jey Uso. Cody's gotten his fucking shot against Cena. The Rock's music hit. He comes out and he goes, I have to do everything my fucking self. I gave you a platter and you still couldn't do it. War Games is 5v5. Reigns, Punk, Orton, Jey. Reigns, Punk, Orton, Jey, and Cody. versus Cena, Braun, who the two of them are already fucking at each other, Starks, Rollins, and the fifth man is The Rock. Because he's gonna do fucking everything himself. Essentially. He's gotta fucking shut all of these people up. He is the only man to do it now. So at least of the War Games match, there's a huge back and forth between everyone involved. There's fights between, people get hit with steel chairs properly. This is where I was going to bring the Viking O into it. He was going to do a bunch of fucking spots.
Yeah.
He's the spot guy. But, there's a couple of big fucking spots. Braun, this is always where the massive crack happens.
Yeah.
Braun is going to go for a spear on Cody, but he accidentally fucking hits Cena.
Okay.
Cody gets the win. The face stands strong. The Rock is fucking fuming because... Actually, no. Sorry. I'll change it. Braun goes for Cody. He hits The Rock instead.
He hits The Rock instead. Okay.
He hits The Rock instead. Cody pins The Rock to get his pin back from Mania. That closes that fucking book. Because otherwise I'm going to fuck myself in the book, and this is the better way to go about it.
Right.
So Cody pins The Rock. They get the win for the faces. It's a couple of people caught up. Punk's probably pumping. There's a whole fucking thing inside there.
Yeah.
This would probably signal the end of Braun and the team now.
So this is what's going to break the team apart now at this point.
This is what's going to break the team apart, and they're going to lose someone because Braun basically is saying, I'm sick of this fucking shit. You could see him shouting on the way. Now, the official break hasn't happened yet, but it's him basically, we just need that final fucking push now.
Yeah.
But we're nearly there. He's fucking screaming. The Rock is screaming and shouting. He's fucking angry. Braun's screaming and fucking shouting. He's fucking angry. Cena's laying out in the fucking ring looking at stairs. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Ricky Starks is off doing his own thing. The faces are standing strong. Big fucking hullabaloo. And it leads into the last two. No, we only have one left, do we? Two.
One left. That's it. Yeah.
So we have one left. So, yeah. Now, in this match, Cody will start being a little bit more cunty. He doesn't outright fight with the rest of his team, but he does some things in the match that make Punk go, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? There's no need to be this vicious against Starks or whatever. There's no need to be this vicious against Cena. He's doing some things that are making people going, he's fucking losing his mind here. There's a whole fucking thing, and then that leads into the last couple of weeks of TV.
Okay.
But yeah, I now my final match is going to be kind of out of the blue, but I kind of need to do it. I had a better ending. If I won every round, this would have started the playing near the end of it. The last time.
I was going to say, I think neither of you have had the luxury here because, Jamie is set up the bedrock, then you take it in the middle, and now both of us have to have a little consensus at the end.
We're about to find out why booking committees don't work.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so this is where then everything fucking starts to go.
Okay.
I think
this is where the fractures are developed. Yeah.
For the sake of booking and for the fun of it, the next Raw is going to be in Madison Square Garden. For the sake of it, let's just say. Because it'll add to the fucking, seeing his last Mania in Madison Square Garden and shit like that. But yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. For you then, Jamie. So the War Games is on the table. Are you taking it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go on.
We've broken him. We really have broken.
It's fucked. Right, Cody announces he's cashing in advance because that's what baby faces do, and I don't see a need to turn him. He takes on Cena at the event. Shockingly, Cena refuses to cheat, loses the title on his own terms, but gains his fucking soul back for the third month in a row. In War Games, we can run Seth, Braun, Drew McIntyre for some reason, and Ricky Saints against Punk, Roman, Orton, and Jey Uso. This time around, I suppose the heels will win because Randy Orton turns on the faces.
Hey.
I've never begged for anything in my life. I really need the win here because I have a much better way of fucking not just to fix.
Oh, if you hadn't derailed me in Paris, I'd be kicking your ass, bitch. But go on, go on, go on, go on.
We'll go on anyway.
Yeah. So okay, so Orton is obviously he is the kind of the centerpiece here of this one. So he is going to cause the heel turn here. He's going to betray his team in War Games. So actually, let's put a bit of body on this. What is actually happening first on the show? Are you having War Games end the show, or are you having Cena Cody end the
Oh,
show?
Cena
The
Cody.
Rock is for you or
For
for
Jamie, yeah.
me. Yeah, for me, The Rock's in the main event. The Rock in no
Yeah,
man's
that
fucking
but
show.
that one is fair enough.
Yeah.
But so for Jamie, you're having the title match end the show.
Yep.
Okay, because
Cena's
that's
face turn is Cena's face turn.
see his face turn. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we have the cash in, we have the money to bank cash in at that point. And so Orton. Okay, actually no. So let's go for a bit of hypothetical here because I like both premises. There's one piece that doesn't match for me personally. It's not Drew McIntyre in this one. I actually will be honest because I think Drew can still be a bit of a periphery heel here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would assume he's had him be I personally one thing that probably hasn't been factored into the booking because it has been in the other parish. I can totally believe that Drew McIntyre has been feuding with Jey Uso on and off. I think that's very, very
Yeah.
believable.
Yeah.
So I think that is something I think that would actually work out quite well. The one thing I do want to check though, out of curiosity, for you, Jamie, and again, I know you're kind of thinking about this on the spot here, but let's just say we have the legacy of this storyline is obviously this faction we've now inherited between what would be Rollins, Breaker, Saint, and now possibly Randy Orton thrown into this as well. What's the legacy of that kind of faction for you in a sense? Is it a means to an end in terms of seeing a storyline, or is it now something that you can bring on as a kind of a full Heyman brain factory type of faction?
It was never about Heyman. It should have been made clear during the summer. It's The Rock. This is the authority of this company. This is
Yeah.
the who the company wants to be the face of the company, who's
Hmm.
willing to do what they're told. Factoring in a little bit of, we're in Donald Trump's America, authoritarianism, with the rebellious faces of Punk, Reigns,
When in
Cody,
Rome, exactly. Yeah.
actually being the good guys.
Yeah.
But basically, I need Cena to be face for his final match because people are going to want to celebrate it.
Mm. And this is
Um,
where my conundrum lies um because as Aaron's show ends, Cena is still potentially heel. I think he would be like we might maybe the case
This
where he might
this
goes
is the
into
last
his
this is the last couple of months here.
yeah
With the last
we have one
we say
match left.
one match
yeah,
left.
sorry,
Yeah.
the last couple of weeks will solidify his final turn as a face. For me, it's not going to be quick, but it'll be good enough. I think that it'll work.
Yeah. And that's the part I think I've been kind of mulling over. Now, The Rock in War Games, I think would have been an unbelievable plot twist. And I think it's something that like I think in the realms of the hypothetical would be unbelievable. But much as he kind of said earlier on in the video as well, it's hard for him to see him kind of jump into a match outright. I understand where you're coming from in the sense you have to put somebody in there, and The Rock would have been the perfect fit. But I'm
But
actually going
see,
to go with Jamie's.
it makes I just one last point. I know
Yeah,
I'm
go for it.
probably going to give it to fucking Jamie shit, but the thing is that in the lead up to the show as well, there
Mm,
is the faces always kind of get the upper hand on the heels. And this is
yes.
why The Rock is just like, I have to do this my fucking self.
Hmm.
Now it'll explain in the next show if I do end up winning why he ended up doing it.
Yeah.
In reality, that movie with Scorsese's finished. He can throw his body wherever the fuck he wants
That's
to.
also very true as well. Yes, that we would have
Yeah.
had it would this will be the end of November. Yeah.
So
Fair point. Absolutely.
this will be The Rock's last introduction to this whole fucking thing.
Okay.
This will be it now. He won't show up again. Possibly. I'll see where that goes.
And in fairness, in
But he
war
won't
games,
show.
you can kind of take a back seat as well. You don't have to be a center of
Yeah,
attention.
like
Yeah, yeah.
he'll probably do one kind of like, oh fuck, The Rock did that. Huh.
Hmm.
But that's about it, you know.
Yeah, that's
But a
fair.
lot of it, the reason why he's done it will play out over the next couple of weeks.
Gotcha.
If
Yeah.
I've managed to change your fucking mind, please say I managed to change your mind.
Well, no. Again, no. The Rock wasn't actually the Rock was the kind of the square peg in the round hole for me here. But I think actually Jamie reasoned well in terms of, and I'm also looking kind of, I'm also being kind of very factual here and thinking like obviously we don't know if there is going to be a December pay per view. We're assuming there is, but for the sake of the fantasy booking, we're going to say that we're going to put a pay per view in December to see Cena off into the sunset. It like Survivor Series is the end of November. So there's going to be a really quick turnaround in terms of the storytelling here to get either Cena on the verge of a babyface turn at the time of the pay per view, or he's babyface going into it on the next night on Raw. And I think that's what's turned to me on this one for Jamie's pick because, as I said, the redemption match has arrived in terms of like he's separated himself from, well, not that he's separated, but obviously Cody has got his way. He's cashing his money in the bank. He's entitled to the match against Cena. The War Games has ensured that there is no bullshit. So like the fact that like there has been good little bit of like say we say bloodline style matches to ensure that Cena's kind of benefited from the chaos. This is the one time where he actually does have to stand up by himself. It's reminiscent to me actually of Hogan Rock from WrestleMania 18, where you've had matches kind of peppered around the card where members of NWO have already had to have a match, and like Scott Hall got his fucking face smashing, Kevin Nash, boom, quad. So Hogan's on his own here, and like I said, this is the only opportunity that he actually does have to fight like a man, and he loses the better man. Cody gets his championship back, and oh my goodness, look at the amount of people that Cody gets a feud with after this. You got Orton, you got Rollins, you got Breaker, you got Ricky Saints. You're spoiled for choice. It doesn't look like it now, but you've given yourselves beautiful opportunities for WrestleMania 42 if you wanted to take it. But that's not the story we're telling here. So Jamie, you'd be happy to know you have won this challenge with one leg to go because Aaron cannot catch you here. However, the last leg
You
is the
couldn't just add
December
a bit of
pick.
tension. You couldn't just add a bit of tension to the last one, no?
I
Couldn't.
genuinely think if I left it as 4-4, I think Jamie's heart would have given out. And the one thing about this is supposed to be a fun exercise, not anxiety inducing. So we leave it down to
Come on, no.
December.
He's got fucking
You
kids.
might
This
win
is nothing.
December. You might win December.
Yeah, we win December exactly. This
You,
like
you
this is
remember the way you were after class in Paris. This is
yeah.
where I am now. I haven't a goddamn clue where to
Yeah.
go from here. I felt like I had such a fucking brilliant end to this whole thing, and you
Now
fucking
here's the
ruined
thing.
it.
So let's set the
Okay,
stage.
Jonathan. What
Yeah.
about this? Don't do it yet. Let me book my December as though my November won. Let him book his December as though his
That's close.
November won.
Ooh.
And let's see who goes.
Okay. If you want to do a double pointer, let's do a double pointer. So
This is my Harry Maguire moment now here.
last minute header. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So okay. So based on Survivor Series, I am swaying towards Jamie's pick here. But again, let's scroll back then. Aaron, I'll go back to you then for your December pay-per-view. In your timeline here, you have Braun Breaker sparing The Rock. Cena's still world champion. Breaker's still world heavyweight champion. Everyone's having a lovely time. So take it away. What is your December pay-per-view? Where is it? What's it called?
So-
What's happening on it?
We'll just say Cena's retirement or whatever. They'll be focused around Cena. The company will put all the money behind it. It'll be Cena themed, fuck it, all the colors, all that stuff. So the first Raw afterwards, John Cena announces that everyone should get a chance to face him in his last match. I've got 5 appearances left. I'm going to be here for 5 weeks. We're at 1. So we'll just say this is a 5-week lead up to the pay-per-view, essentially.
Okay.
So 4.
He'd have to be doing a
Whatever.
Raw and a SmackDown then for that to work. But yeah, that's
Yeah, he'll do a Raw and a SmackDown near the end. Yeah. So it's a big battle royale. Everyone in the company has a chance to enter their names in history and be the opportunity to be the guy to beat John Cena. Who's it going to be? Battle royale ensues. Bodies everywhere. Fucking people flying over the top. R-Truth thinks he's going to win because he does a pin. He gets to face his hero. Sadly, he gets fucking dumped out by the Judgment Day. That's it. Everyone's fucking throwing everyone out, and then you have your last 4, right? CM Punk, Braun Breaker, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Punk gets knocked out first by Sami.
Mm-hmm.
Cody basically sees Punk is knocked out by Sami.
Mm.
Braun gets up. Cody runs at him. Sami knocks them both out.
Okay.
Sami Zayn is the person who gets him in his final match. Now, if he'd won earlier, he'd have been fucking involved in this. I couldn't add him into the War Games match because it made no sense, and I felt like Jey Uso was a better shot because he was a former world champion.
Which he would have
like
been.
that.
He would have been a better shout because he lost the title to Breaker. Yeah, fair enough.
So Sami wins.
Mm.
John Cena gets up, and for the first time in months, he cracks a smile. Braun's going fucking mental. He keeps people are going to wondering, is he going to stay inside, or he spares both of them, and then shouts at Heyman, "I'm fucking out. I'm done. I'm not dealing with your bullshit." We'll just say that's the epic end for him to get drafted to SmackDown permanently, done and dusted. He's out of this whole fucking thing. Then the next couple of weeks, I think Sami, with the way he speaks as a face, is the only one to start turning Cena, essentially. He starts getting in his fucking head. There's build up to the weeks of it. Rollins says, "I'm your shield until the last moment, and then we're done." Do you know, the Raw before, it's like a big going away show from Sami is spending weeks basically saying, "This is not you. You know this isn't you." The fans start turning back on Cena. The crowd starts cheering him. All emotional. And then we get to the final thing. Big main event. The two of them have a back and forth. Cena comes out to all of his colors. It's kind of, we're getting old Cena back, although he's not officially turned face, I suppose, for his last match. He may as well be at this point.
Again, it's a kind of Hollywood Hogan turn as a warrior. You can kind of see it coming.
Yeah. You kind of see it coming. We all know it's coming. Heyman doesn't come out with him. At this point, the cracks are, it's a shattered piece of glass.
Yeah.
The faction doesn't really exist anymore, but will come into play. So, on the last SmackDown, Heyman's on the phone again, and he goes, "We have to go. We'll go with what you wanted originally. I think I might have sorted it." And that's it. So that's the lead-in into it. The match happens, back and forth. Fucking fans are going mental for Cena. Everyone that has been in it earlier, kind of like Mania when Cody won, this is where it happens out with this. Fucking everyone's coming in, people getting speared all over the place. Braun, the last thing that happens is Braun gets his big fuck you to Cena and fucking smashes Cena into the fucking corner. And after all of this, Braun won't do it. Sorry. 1 second, I know. Not Braun. Seth, I was your shield. I'm your shield until I'm not. He's not a shield anymore. He doesn't really need to keep me around anymore.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah. He turns face again by hitting a fucking curb stomp on Cena. Beautiful fucking scene. Sami Zayn finally wins his World Heavyweight Championship. Which I feel like they're probably going for next year's Mania anyway. I have a feeling they're planting those seeds at the moment. Because he was missing for this one. And it seems like that's a kind of loosely setting it up. In amongst all of this, Heyman comes out and goes, "John, you couldn't do the one thing that I asked of you, and you couldn't just play by the rules. You were supposed to leave with the championship and be the last champion." But for you, Sami, your night isn't over yet. Fucking Cody Rhodes comes in, all the teasing for a heel turn and doing a little bit much. He was the plan B. The Rock finally got his man. He has him, Ricky Starks, Ricky Starks, and Rollins fucking beaten down in the middle of the ring. He cashes in his money in the bank. Got a heel Cody leading up to WrestleMania, kind of like Daniel Bryan. kind of like a Daniel Bryan thing. You've got a heel Cody, you've got a face fucking Sami Zayn. Can he do it against fucking Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania night 2? Let's fucking go. It sets up everything there, but it ends with a heel Cody with the WWE Championship, which I feel like could be a lot of fun.
Right. Okay. That's
There was a lot there. There's a
that's
lot there.
That's a gambit and a half.
Originally, I would have had
Yeah.
Zayn in the story at some point, and eventually do it. I also had Zayn going in as a heel and beating him as a heel.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I had that as well. But I was like, that doesn't make. I'm already shoehorned him into this. I can't shoehorn in a fucking heel turn for fucking
In
Zayn.
fairness, from your starting off point, if you had picked got Fatu at the start, I could see how the rest of the family that group would have mingled into it. Again, I that's to say, I think at the fun bit, if you wanted to keep people in the sphere, you definitely have to call your say like, oh, and Sami Zayn's fighting Braun Breaker this year, this month or something. And like I said, that's certainly like again, it's the first time we're doing this concept, folks. We will tighten this up as time goes on.
Like
And
you could do if I originally got my plan, Sammy would have beaten every single person in that group leading up to it at some point.
yeah, exactly.
Beating
Again,
Rollins,
that's
beating
the stuff that could have
Breaker, or
happened in the
bringing him into the
background.
starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have happened in the background as you lead up to
Could have happened
that
in the background
whole
because
moment.
you have moments here throughout the whole thing. Like I said, you could have had at SummerSlam, you didn't have Rollins doing anything, so Rollins versus Sami Zayn. If Clash in Paris, you could have had now obviously Breaker it would be World Heavyweight Champion at this point, but you could have had a potential thing there with whoever else is available. So again, you have all these different elements there. Okay, so ultimately for a two-pointer, the whole year ends. Cena's last match ends with him losing the championship to Sami Zayn. Obviously, he goes off into the sunset, but the story rolls on with Cody Rhodes cashing in his money in the bank, heel turning on him.
We'll do the Cody heel turn differently. Cody will hit Sami Zayn in the back with the briefcase, and this is where John will go, "What are you doing? What are we doing here? What I thought we were good. I thought we could have healed our wounds and stuff like that." And he really solidifies the heel turn by fucking taking out. Cena goes out on his back.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? Cena goes out on his back. What fucking done and dusted. And then maybe on the Raw the next night you have the actual going away or whatever. Okay. You know what I mean?
That's fair. And again, I like that throughout the bits that you have in control there, you have peppered in those little heel elements throughout the year as well. So there certainly has been coming in terms of a Cena of a Cody heel turn. But certainly, aligning with the bad boys all along is a very, very good idea. But again, going by what we had story wise, he fits the bill as a company guy. Now, Jamie, on the other hand, on your side, in terms of Survivor Series, the two big headlines was Orton joining the faction, or perhaps not even or joining the faction, just turning heel, maybe just being Randy Orton. But what we have already is Cody winning the World Championship at this point, and John Cena's redemption has already started. So you're coming into December with a babyface John Cena. Take us from there. What happens next?
So much like Aaron was just saying, there's a lot of shit that I am now leaving on the table.
That's fine. That's the fun part of the exercise is choosing between your bumps.
There's a couple of things that should have happened to this point, but we're going to end up in the same place. It's December. The pay-per-view is going to be called Ruthless Aggression. It is going to be in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah.
It is going to be in Cena's hometown, and we're getting a babyface John Cena in his last match. In the build-up, Cena is going to select his opponent, and he's going to say it's a young star. It's someone who he sees as having unchecked, ruthless aggression, and it is someone who he sees as the future, the champion of the company and of the industry, and someone who he wants for his last match, and that is Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
And Bucket, seeing as he still has the belt, will have Heyman jump in with the you can't have a title match, and John Cena will say, I don't need a title match. This isn't about my ego anymore. It never should have been. This is about this company. It's about this business. Your little group, you say that you're about this company. You say you're about this business, But the truth is, you're only about yourselves. You're about The Rock. You're about his ego. That's not what any of this should have been about. This always should have been about the future. It should have been about what was best for business, but actually best for business, not best for you. And my final opponent is going to be Braun Breaker. And they do the match.
Mhm.
And John Cena finally reconnects with the fans in his hometown.
Sorry.
Braun Breaker gets involved. It's physical. But John Cena finally is the old John Cena. He might be
Mm.
slower, but he doesn't give up. He doesn't. He gets hit with a spear.
Sorry,
He
no.
kicks out.
Keep talking. I just gotta run to the fucking bathroom. I'm dying for a piss. I've been holding him for like the
Work
last
away.
10
Go
minutes.
for it.
Fair
Keep going.
enough.
Keep going.
Yeah. But the whole point of this faction all the way along was never to build anyone else but Braun. The focus should have always been on him. We didn't need Vikingo. We didn't need Saints. It should have been he's the future.
Mm.
Braun Breaker sets up another spear, charges in. Cena manages to haul him up onto the shoulders, hits the AA, and John Cena, in the rarest of rare moments, gets the win in his last match in his hometown. Braun Breaker gets the loss. At
Mm.
this point, the faction comes out. So whoever's in it at this point, where we have Seth, we have Orton, we have Ricky Saints.
But yeah, so let's establish this. So are we from the conclusion of War Games? Do you have Orton as part of this, or would he just heel turn for shits and gigs?
Loosely affiliated.
Okay,
His main crux, the main reason he's heel, is because we are entirely building to a very face Cody Rhodes against a heel Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
very nice. Okay, that's
Because
fair.
there's a lot of history there. But the idea here is the heels, the small select few, come
Mm.
out and it looks like them and Braun are going to crush Cena in his final moments. He's just won. He never gave up. And John Cena stands up in the ring and he stares down Seth, he stares down Randy, he stares down Ricky. And Braun Breaker comes and stands beside John Cena. The match has converted him finally. He is sick of their shit. He is sick of giving up his belts. He is sick of being their whipping boy. He's not that. He's what John Cena says he is. He's the future of this business. And he stands side by side with John Cena. And it's still 3-on-2, so the boys advance. And that's when we get CM Punk, we get Roman Reigns, we get Jey Uso, we get fucking Sami Zayn, we get
Mhm.
R-Truth, we get the Motor City Machine Guns, we get every baby face on that roster spills out, and the heels think better of it and they back the fuck off. And all of the faces raise John Cena onto their shoulders after his final match in his hometown, and the spotlight in that moment is firmly put on John Cena for one last time because he is
Mm.
going to hold to his word, and this is it for him. So he gets his moment in the sun, and babyface John Cena is celebrated by all, and then he's gone. And in the fallout from it, Braun Breaker feuds with Seth Rollins into WrestleMania and is finally established, even in the loss to Cena, as a main event guy.
Mm. As I said, it's very reminiscent of the Hogan Rock scenario where like the match turned him face. It was
Yeah.
the fact that
Yeah.
like yeah. Okay,
But
well
it's been
that's
common. It's been common. They've
yeah.
abused him for enough. And then that way at Mania, we get Cody Orton, Roman Rock, Braun Seth. All of this has been built up throughout the year.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The I'm glad you suggested the double pointer because of the kind of connective tissue there. I get to see like where also like I suppose the whole kind of prize is what WrestleMania 42 looks better. And yeah, I agree with you, Aaron. It's a shame we didn't get Sami Zayn into this storyline any quicker. And like I said, that's unfortunately the kind of circumstance of like of not having narrative control.
Mhm.
Um, that I think there are kind of, if you wanted to be retroactive, there's certainly a match you can throw him into at Crown Jewel. Same with Clash, same with SummerSlam, possibly even main
You could
event.
have, you could have been. He could have been that person through the whole year. I think from about SummerSlam onwards, that would have
Yeah.
actually been in his brain. Is there anyway to
Possibly,
slowly turn him that way? Do you know what I mean? Like that was,
yeah.
it was a toss up between do I add him in and the fifth man in War Games. I did want to break my rule, shatter my fucking rule of people saying I'm brands by having Edge come back for. So you would have had Punk Edge.
Cena Edge would
Punk
have been a lovely
Edge,
one there, wouldn't it?
yeah, you would
Yeah,
have had Punk Edge, Orton, and Reigns.
yeah,
Like his biggest ever rivals is in his last match, essentially. Well, maybe not Reigns, but I suppose you can get him in
yeah.
there. I suppose the
I get that.
guy
I
who
get it.
replaced him.
Okay. So yeah. So in terms of like the other side, I think I will say I think there is certainly a cleaner finale out of the two, and I was again I like the idea of as I say I think like okay, so there's two things like I would say that I could poke at and say that one doesn't work for me and that one doesn't work for me, but dynamic wise, I think there's a better argument for it. So the ending I'm going with, and the winner of the challenge, to see John Cena off into the sunset, I'm gonna go with Jamie's ending on this one, um, and I tell you why. Now, in fairness, you both did very well to salvage your initial endpoints from where we were.
I
Um,
think I did. I lose you with the Cody heel turn.
yeah, a little actually, yeah. In the end, I think
Oh,
I think it was. I'll tell you why because like ultimately the reason the idea I think now in fairness you got me back a little bit more by having Cody take out Cena at the end to really ramp up the heat and to really ramp it up, but I think as I said like I would say the one thing to say was like that again this is a very I love this very attitude era energy of this as well where there's like a heel turn every 3 months. It's fucking hilarious. Again that's the joy of the
I've just fucking realized I could probably put a Cody in at the end of the match to not even give Sammy the belt
yeah.
and have him cash in on get his win back off Cena by
Mm.
taking the belt off him and turning heel. I'm a fucking idiot.
No, that
Shit.
could have worked as well. You could have stolen Zayn's moment as well, and then that costs Cody Zayn, and then he gets the big win at Mania. There's loads of different opportunities with that, but what I think was I think in terms of it, there was a more concurrent theme with in terms of the ruthless aggression side of it with Braun Breaker because accidentally or not, we did stumble upon the John Cena Braun Breaker like end game very early on. Particularly with again, I look back at the angle with the IC title thing, very NWO style booking, very much like this is a load of bollocks. We all know this, but you have this kind of like the seed is actually planted. Aaron actually seeds the plants the seed here in terms of that finale with the crown jewel match with the champion versus champion.
Fuck.
Ironically, between the two of you did actually get like a really coherent story. It's not exactly what she's wanted here, but what the fascinating thing was that what kind of like plot hole ended up on one side, the other side filled in really well. And then by the time we get to Survivor Series, again, Crown Jewel was what really fucked you up big time. We forgot about Crown
Yeah.
Jewel. And for once we can't blame Saudi Arabia on it. This one's in Australia. We can't say anything about this.
First non-Saudi show in the calendar
Non-Saudi Crown
year,
Jewel.
like
Yeah,
6 years.
exactly.
Like yeah.
Well, in fairness, they're getting the Royal Rumble, so I suppose turnabout's fair play.
Uh,
And in fairness, it is actually a Royal Rumble. But that's the thing. Like I think like from what we leave on the cutting room floor, there is still enough like say matches. I'd say like there would have been a lot of more matches in between that we didn't mention here. But like I said, I think what a wonderful send of it is, and what a great way to bring up Braun Breaker as well. Because yes, he's seen it beats him in that match, but again, it's a loss that will actually do him better than a victory. Because what does he learn from the loss? He learns to be an absolute fucking beast, and he can be now he can be
He
now
learns
the
to have
I I
ruthless
will
aggression.
aggression.
I will say this: the only issue I have with all of this, with
Yeah.
Jamie's thing, how can you go through a whole year and not give Cody back his win?
Cody got his win back.
When?
when he cashed in on Cena 3
Oh,
months
yes.
in a fucking row.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
But you
Oh,
remember the
yeah,
double points?
shit.
The double
I
points, yeah.
got fucking all fucking confused with all the fucking storylines we were doing. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did
Yeah.
get his fucking win back, didn't he? Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. So that's exactly. That's this is the fun bit of keeping track. But yeah, I
It's not
like I
even
said,
about
like
keeping track. I'm fucking tired. And just all the storylines are just meshed into fucking one.
and now you know what it's like to be in the writing room at WWE headquarters.
And I'm not getting fucking phone calls off of fucking Vince at 4 o'clock in the morning going, come into the office.
Come on, stretch them. So yes, in that case, then Jamie, you have won tonight's challenge. You have rewritten, you have possibly written history. We'll see how close to the blueprint they follow on this one. And yes, but clearly anyone from WWE watches our show. But if you do, hi. Maybe get rid of the McMahons. Just saying. Look, so that means Jamie, because it's the way this whole kind of dynamic works, you are now going to host the next show, and myself and Aaron, or possibly other people, depending on what the prompt is, we're going to be the fancy bookers this time. So now I'll be in the hot seat,
Wonderful.
and you'll be in the cool seat.
Oh.
So do you have an inclination of what you would like to fantasy book and put what fresh hell you'd like to put us through?
Oh, there's so much potential. What errors are you good with? Can you leave it with me? Can you leave it with me?
Absolutely, yeah.
What we should do, we should not tell. You gave us the heads up on this one. Don't give us the heads up on any of them anymore. Prompt do it on her feet.
No planning.
Because I actually kind of enjoyed Jamie fucking like freaking around.
Stop that fucked me like.
Well, that's evil.
Cost us
That's
the last
very, very
match
evil.
between Cena and Seth. Yeah, okay. And you two are fairly knowledgeable on the old wrestling, like.
I would say my blind spots would be New Japan, I think. New Japan and probably
Okay.
current AEW. But I could probably give a fair shake of it. Give me Irish wrestling, no problem as well. Irish wrestling can do easy.
Actually, do you know what? When it comes to Irish wrestling, that is absolutely a fucking blind spot. I paid no attention to Irish wrestling in a while. So if you wanted to really fuck me over, make me think of my feet, God damn it, you can have it there.
I'll keep it WWE centric, sure. But yeah, we can have some fun with this.
Okay. I can see the wheels turning already. I can see it's got a spark. Okay. Right. Well, fair enough then. So in that case, lads, thank you very much for jumping on to this episode of the Butterfly Suplex Effect. A bit longer than we anticipated because look at the stress on the poor boys' faces. We might make this a two-parter. You never know.
But until then, I look like this at the start.
You should. Do you know what? Cut this bit out. You should make this a two-parter, and we should cut it exactly where I fuck Jamie. Because if he ends up getting the win anyway, it's like a little fucking cliffhanger, isn't it?
Well, in fairness, there is actually a national break at SummerSlam, so that works out quite well.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that case, until then, we'll see you for the next edition of the Butterfly Suplex Effect. For my colleagues here, for Jamie and for Aaron, my writers for this one, thank you very much for joining us. And Jamie now will be hosting the next one and setting the gauntlet for us to set. But until then, we'll see you on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Toodles.